Hey everybody, today is January 2nd, so it's kind of like the first official day back to work, even though it's kind of weird because it's a Thursday today, but it feels like a Monday today. Um, my kids are in private school, as you can see, with Lil and NDP, but they do not have school today. They go back on Monday, and of course, we're supposed to get some kind of snowstorm on Monday, so they'll probably be out of school on Monday too. That's how it always works. Get an extra long Christmas break when we're all ready for them to go back, and then they have to stay home with us more. Drive us crazy, you know what I mean? Although my kids, they're pretty good. They don't really drive me that crazy. And my daughter, she's been out of the house for a few days anyway, um, with her boyfriend's family. They went out to the mountains to a cabin that they have. So anyway, I wanted to talk today about how my year's going so far, and maybe get into some type of message. Not sure exactly what that message is going to be just quite yet. Um, but I'm sure I'll get to it eventually. The spirit will come out like it always does. And it always comes out of my heart, and it always comes out of my soul, and it just, lets me know what is important for today. But for me, what was important for today is, I haven't been as good towards the end of this past year. I wasn't as good and as faithful about getting on my knees in the morning when I wake up and praying to God and to Jesus about, starting my day with them, and, having them guide me and show me and take me on a journey for the day on wherever I need to be and whatever I need to do, and kind of like go under their supreme guidance, if you will. And so today I started the day off like that. I ended in prayer last night before I went to bed. And, I prayed for God and Jesus to give me some motivation to get up and exercise this morning. And for the first time in like a year and a half or however long it's been, I finally got on the treadmill this morning, and did like put on my music. I had my Skillet rock music going, and I had what else did I have going? Trying to think of the other bands. I think I had maybe Papa Roach in there, um, and there was some other ones that I can't remember right now, but they were in my playlist. But Skillet was the main one. They played like 3 or 4 songs from Skillet, and I just walked, man. I just did a nice slow walk, no jogging, just a walk, for about 22 minutes or so on the treadmill this morning, and it felt really good. It felt really good, to get back into that. And then I helped my wife get some decorations that she needed to get down. She needed me to take a bunch of stuff up from the basement when I was done, and bring that up and have it all set up there for her so she could start taking down the Christmas stuff, even though, we don't take down the tree or nothing like that. As long as the Ravens are winning, we don't really mess with the Christmas tree or lights or anything like that, because we're superstitious when it comes to that stuff. So, we'll see how they do. I think they're playing on Saturday this week. So I hit the exercise goal today. I hit the coffee goal today. We had good coffee out of our fresh coffee pot that we just got, and I had breakfast later. For those of you who don't know, it's like a secret that people don't know about, but I make the best egg and cheese bagel sandwich. All you do is you take a bagel out, you throw it in the toaster, and while it's toasting, you just take a little bowl and you take 2 eggs, spray it with some nonstick cooking spray, and put the eggs in there, mix them up real good, and literally just throw the eggs in the microwave, put like a napkin or something over top of it, like a paper towel or napkin or whatever, 90 seconds, and it cooks it to perfection, and it'll be the perfect cooked egg. Then you take a piece of cheese, put it right on top of that, and then by the time that's done, the bagel's done. You slap it on the bagel, and there you go. You got your bacon. You got your and if you got bacon, I was going to say bacon, egg, and cheese. I didn't have any bacon this morning, but if I had bacon, I'd put that on there too. Then you got a bacon, egg, and cheese on your bagel, and you're really eating good. In the morning there. So, but we had that this morning, and then I sat around a little bit, helped the wife out with taking some decorations back downstairs after I brought everything upstairs. Even though my son was supposed to do that, but he was sleeping the whole time. So, we got that. We got the dog all going all over the place, running around, but it's starting to kind of get potty trained now. Hasn't been that long. He won't really go outside because it's still really cold. So what we have is we have this like playpen puppy area kind of thing with a bunch of puppy pads that we put down, and he just kind of when he's got to go, he just kind of goes and walks on that, and we cut a little hole in it so he can just walk right in. So he just goes in it, pees in it, poops in it. We give him treats, and he's been doing a really good job. So I mean, being as little as he is, you know, um, he still has accidents, but we're not as harsh on him. We basically had this like little timeout area we put him in or whatever. But anyway, I was able to get all that done, and then I got this new program now for my home owners that I know and the people that are my clients, to be able to stay in touch with them. It's this really cool program where it generates a personalized, customized home value report. So if anybody's watching this, it's in my area. Actually, it's not even anywhere in the area. It could be any state because I can send it anywhere. You can send me. I need your name, email address, and your home address, and then phone number if you have it. And then I put all that into my system, and it will send a generated monthly report for free that I pay for, but it's free for you, and it generates a report every month and lets you know what your house is worth for that particular month, and what's going on with the market. Is it a strong market? Is it a soft market? It's got all these other bells and whistles with it. That's really neat. And so I worked on that today, getting in touch with a lot of people through direct messages on Facebook. I'm going to start with direct messages on Facebook, and then people. You'd be surprised how many people don't respond to you. So people who don't respond, you're going to be getting phone calls. So that'll probably be maybe next week because I still got to get through the DMs between today and tomorrow, and I gotta show a house tomorrow finally. That's a second showing that it looks like we're gonna probably put an offer in on. So it'll be the first deal of the year, which would be great because it's only January 3rd tomorrow, and like to get some money coming in from somewhere because it's definitely going out. All this stuff I'm spending money on, it's not free, but it's all necessary business expenses. And I shifted some money from some other places I used to spend money on with advertising and shifted it over to some more beneficial type of programs that aren't as expensive. So I'm still saving money and not spending a whole bunch, but spending enough to be able to have an impact and stay in touch with people, and doing some other creative marketing too with some social media advertising for various things, and it's really starting to take off. I mean, it's amazing. You can waste all this money on all this other crap, but it's like I spent like $2.75 and was able to get 8 different people clicking on my one ad post to get their home value reports, and it's like I mean that's crazy. It took $2.75 for one day, so we'll see what happens with that. And then, of course, I got my book, coming out, which is a pre-order book right now. So it's pre-order from now until February 24th because it comes out officially on the 25th of February. It'll be released, and anybody who's pre-ordered it will get it shipped to them on that date. and then everybody will get the book. They can read it and everything. So I did an ad for that today too. I got a big nationwide ad going out. It's about 8,600 people a day in the United States that are going to see an ad for the book to see if they want to buy the book or whatever. So we'll see what happens there, because we got like 53 days between now and February 24th, I think it is. And it works out to, like, if it's 8,600 a day, it'd be like 455,000 views, which would be awesome. I mean, can you imagine, like, even just getting like a 1% return on investment for that? I mean, what's that, like 4,500, something like that? People buying the book, that'd be crazy, crazy. But I mean, crazier things have happened, right? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And I was also able to read my devotional today. I read that this morning, and when I had my first cup of coffee before I actually worked out, and talked about strength today. It talked about how um, it says, "In repentance and rest is your salvation." So, in repentance and rest is your actual salvation. And in quietness and trust is your strength. So it says, "Dear Lord, give me your strength for this day. Teach me to depend on you for my provision, salvation, and peace." So, that's kind of where I want to start talking is, I want to depend on the Lord for my provisions, for my salvation, and for my overall peace and happiness and joy, um, and what I get to enjoy every day, which is just a fulfilled day. Like, it's right now, it's probably, you know, 2:30, 3 o'clock. I got everything done and was able to get to the office around 11 today. And and I started kind of working on some of the direct messages with getting in touch with people at home this morning at like 9 o'clock. So I kind of started working at home, even though I didn't really work at home the whole time. But I got a lot of stuff done. I came into the office, got a ton of stuff done. I'm still getting more stuff done with the direct mail campaign that I'm getting ready to start with a mortgage lender for a couple of different neighborhoods that we're targeting. And, we got that going on. I got my book ad that I designed today, got that approved through Facebook, and that's starting to run through the nation, through the whole country. And just been staying in touch with my Bible buddies. That reminds me, I got one more I got to add to the Bible group, so that'll make 22 invites so far to the Bible group for next week. I hope everybody doesn't come. That's all I got to say, because I ain't got 22 seats. So, but I already have a couple people that said they can't make it because they got to go to work or whatever. Who's got to go to work? I mean, come on. Bible study, work, what's more important? God's got you covered. Come to the Bible study, make something up to your boss, whatever. Just tell him, you got to do something with God. See what he says. And, if he doesn't like it, then tell him he's got to read my book, right? So it's a win-win. If he doesn't like the fact that you're, supporting God and you're coming in a little bit late, tell him he should read a book called, Are You Going to Heaven or Hell? Let's see where that gets you, you know? Um, I know who's getting one of my books, and I can't wait to see the look on his face. Even though I'll never really probably get to see the look on his face, but I'm going to hand deliver the book myself, and I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to put a little sticky note on it, and I'm going to say, "You really should read this one." And I'm gonna take it in an envelope, and I'm going to take it to Dr. B, Mister You Know Who You Are in Bel Air, and Mr. Psychiatrist who doesn't believe in God. Maybe he'll read the book called Are You Going to Heaven or Hell? But I'm going to sign his copy for him and drop it off to him, because I think he really needs to maybe evaluate some things in his life. Because You can't just go around misdiagnosing people and not believing when they say they have a spiritual awakening and they have, the Holy Spirit inside their heart. You can't say that they're, you know, manic and that they're hearing voices and that, you can't go around saying that, because there are things out there that are called miracles, and Jesus does save people. And, he healed people who couldn't walk. He healed people who couldn't see. He healed people who couldn't hear. He healed people who couldn't speak. He healed every kind of person that there is. He healed them. Just took the diseases right out of them and cleaned them and made them pure. It can happen. It can happen if you have enough faith. But see, that's the key. You got to have faith in order for something like that to happen. And, a lot of these people out there in the medical field, they only believe in one thing, and that's science. And they got to have some kind of evidence. Science is all based on evidence and being able to prove things, that they exist or don't exist. And that's where the fuzzy part comes in with Jesus and with God, is that you can't prove that they exist. You can't prove it. It's just something that you got to have faith about, you know? And you can prove that Jesus was real. You can prove that Jesus was here. You can prove that Jesus, went through what he went through, and that he was crucified, and that he was put to death, and that he suffered death, and he was buried, and he was gone. Now, what happened? Who knows what happened, right? That's what you might be saying to yourself. He rose. He rose from the dead. He rose from the dead 3 days later and is seated at the right hand of the Father. And he will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead, and his kingdom will have no end. Took that right out of the Catholic Church. That statement right there comes right out of Mass. They say it in every Mass. The kingdom will have no end. But not everybody's going to make it to the kingdom, you know. And that's what my book's about. It's about, what type of person are you? What type of beliefs do you have? And how do you act? And how do you treat others? You know, all that matters. It all matters. You can't just sit there and say, well, I believe in Jesus and I believe he was resurrected, and because of that, I'm just going to go to heaven. Yeah, well, and then just go do whatever you want, treat people however you want, you know, steal whatever you want, break all the commandments that you want, sin all you want, live your life the way you want, and pay no attention to anything that God or Jesus said that you need to do. See, and I get in this argument with people because they're like, well, the minute you say that you believe that he was resurrected for our sins, the minute you say that, you're saved and you're going to heaven. But it can't be that, because that same person could go out and murder someone, or commit all kinds of adultery and stealing from people and using drugs and alcohol all the time and just being just a pitiful person and a pathetic person, and they could go out and do whatever they want, sin however they want, say whatever they want. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. It's all about, number one, do you believe? You have to believe. Number two, did you ever take the journey with Jesus? Did you ever go on a journey with Jesus and try to understand him and try to live like him? Even if it's like for a day, Like, just take one day. I did a post that was called like an idea of sinless Mondays. And could you imagine how the world would be if everyone would just say on Mondays we're just not going to sin. None of us. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. And we're going to act like Jesus. Every single one of us on planet Earth would just take up the cross and be like Jesus one day a week. One day a week. This whole planet would be a beautiful place to be on that day, you know. But see, it'll never happen because you can't convince people that that's what's in their best interest, and they don't want to hear it because they're so distracted by the allure of all this other sparkly stuff that's out there that's attractive and that feels good and that they want it. So let's just do it and just get it, you know? And that's what starts the sin, you know? And it's having that mindset that you don't need God and you don't need Jesus to make your own decisions, you know? I use God and Jesus to make decisions before I even write a check. You know, I had to make a decision about my book when it first got accepted to be published. I had to write a check for them to publish the book. You know, they want me to take the risk. They don't want to take the risk, especially being a first time author. You know, they want me to take the risk and they want me to put the money out to be able to, prove that, is it worth it or is it not worth it? Because if it flops and it doesn't sell one copy, well, who lost money? Me, not them, even though they would probably lose a little bit. But they have money that they would get as almost like a retainer fee from me, like an attorney would charge to take a case to work it for court. It's like a retainer fee, you know. And the difference is I get that feedback when my book starts selling. You know, I get my feedback. I get made whole first, and then we work on a split basis on whatever books above that number sell. Then we split the profits between myself and the publisher. And that's how that whole thing works. A lot of people don't understand how it works. But we, just I tell you, it's just having the faith that that he is doing the right thing for you, and having the faith to know that he's providing for you, and that he is, you know, saving you, and he is giving you peace. And I did the same thing today with the ad I ran for the book on Facebook that's going nationwide. It's a ad that's going to go to like 8,600 people a day, and I had to spend some money on that. So I prayed about it, and I said, God, should I spend this money to advertise the book? Remember, the book's all about bringing people to Jesus. That's what it's all about. So it's almost like by advertising the book, it's almost like giving that money to charity because it's selling a product that is of God. It is for him. It is for Jesus. That is what the whole point of the book is. I just happen to be the one who gets to collect some of the royalties on it because I physically wrote it, even though the spirit really wrote it. The spirit is the one that got into my fingers and that gave me the energy and told me exactly what to say, exactly what to type, exactly what to write, and put it in the exact order everything needed to be and everything. The spirit's what did that, not me. I'm just a regular guy, but as I have trusted God more and more and more, and as I have prayed more and more and more in my faith, I'm starting to get more and more ideas on how I can transform my real estate business too, and how I can take that to the next level with all these clients that I've had in the past and all these new clients that I'm going to get in the future by going out and being proactive about soliciting and marketing and doing it the smart way and not just wasting money on stupid stuff that doesn't work, you know? um, because I've done that for 20 years. I've done that. I spent money on stuff, and it's like once you have something that works, everybody goes and does it, you know. And then eventually it doesn't work anymore because everybody does it, and that's where you got to stay on top of technology and on top of artificial intelligence. Like these reports that I do for my clients, they have artificial intelligence built into it, so it actually is like an algorithm that's a learning type of algorithm that compares all the home sales in the area, in the immediate area, and aggregately, evaluates them so that you can come up with a full value for your house and know this is where it should be. And it's pretty accurate, because when I take a particular listing and I comp it out, which is means, I'll take it and I'll go into the MLS and I'll take a particular house and I'll go around and find sale sold comps and I'll try to figure out what the house is worth myself before I list it. My numbers are coming really close to what this report is too. So it's kind of scary with how accurate this report really is. Of course, I would never rely on artificial intelligence alone without having an agent involved. I'd always get an agent, a competent, let's just change that a little bit, a competent agent involved because, there's a lot of agents out there who, let's just be honest, they're not competent. They had their license for 6 months and they don't know what they're doing. They sold their aunt's house and that's it. And they probably sold it for 50,000 under value. And I got one that we're looking at, well, not to throw anybody under the bus, but we got one that we're looking at tomorrow that they started at like $650,000, and now they're down to $549,000. Like you're down $100,000. I'm sorry, they started 670 something, so they're down almost $130,000 from where they started 6 months ago, and it's like that's inexcusable. That's called I don't know what I'm doing. You know. The comps are not there if you got to drop it that low. And that's the disservice that this person has done for their clients because if they just would have listed the house 6 months ago at 549, they probably would have sold it for 575 or 600. But see, now that it's been sitting for 6 months, it's 549. Everybody's like, something's not looking good with that house. There's problems with that house. But see, my clients like it, and we may go in there and try to make a deal, see how desperate the sellers want to be to make a deal happen. Because my people don't have to move, but they want to move and they want the house because they like the house. But if they don't get it, they don't get it. And that's the best position to be in. To be in that negotiating position where you have what we call the leverage. So, so that'll be, fingers crossed. We're going to say some prayers that tomorrow works out and we get that deal on the books. That would be a great start to the year for them and for me. And they also have a home to sell. So if that goes under contract, then I'll get a listing too. And we'll be rocking and rolling come, first of the year. We'll be boom, boom, boom. I got another listing coming up by a golf course. It's going to be a nice price. Got to touch base with my friend about that one next couple days. And, other than that, things have been great. And I've just been keeping God first in my life. And I've been reminding myself that whatever I do, wherever I go, whoever I talk to, whatever I talk about, I always remember that God comes first and try to put him first before myself and anybody else that I'm associating with. So, that's it there. And we finished in a little less time than we normally do. So, just hope everybody out there has a great 2025. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're wealthy. I hope you're prosperous. I hope you get everything that you've been working for and working towards. And I just hope that, um, your life goes the way you want it to. And if you have God in your life, pray to Him and talk to Him every single day. And you'll be amazed at what happens in your life. You'll be amazed at where you go. You'll be amazed at the things that happen for you, just out of nowhere, man. Just ridiculous things sometimes just happen out of nowhere sometimes. So, um, so I guess that's pretty much it. So you'll find this on Mice Ministries on Facebook. Um, like that page if you haven't already. You'll find it on YouTube on my Is Jesus Real podcast as well. And if you want to share it, that'd be great. Also, like it, give it a thumbs up, comment on it. I usually respond to most comments. Some comments I don't because I just don't see any relevance with them. Some people that decide to write comments that make no sense. Sometimes they get deleted too if it's really stupid comment. But um, just so you know, because I do try to keep it clean and try to make sure everything looks good. So anyway, that's pretty much it. So you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless each and every one of you. And I will be in touch at some point, I'm sure, with another message, probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Even though I got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, I'm probably going to do a message tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.